Thanks to the support as a channel member, John Comey. Look, you have already seen Rob Harley before. You saw him play his debut 2 seasons ago down in League One, but I get it. You want to see 18-year-old, one of the best players in the championship, Harley, and you can see him now. I told you not to worry. And you're going to see him play against Salford, which should be a game we win and should nicely tee up a top-of-the-table clash against now top-of-the-table Leeds as the second match of today's episode. They've played one more game than us, so hopefully we'll go into that top of the league, having dealt with Salford. This is the 11 that we're going to be putting out there. So, I mean, it's actually quite familiar. Mr. Tickle obviously has been here forever. The back four were all here last year. Johnson, Roivers, Bindon and Shaha. We said we were going to rebuild the midfield, and we have. So new boy Kante at the base of the midfield with new boy Hall ahead of him, and Pacheco, who of course came in back in January. New loanees Messam and Susic out wide, and Rob Harley starts at centre forward for us because all hopes on Rob Harley, who started the summer as a 2-star current ability player. He's already a 3.5-star current ability player. He's only going to get better. And hopefully you get to see just how good he is in today's episode. I'm excited. I want him to absolutely rip Salford apart so we can all bask in his glory. And I guess speculate whether we're going to be able to keep him from the entire season. Because the one worry is we gave him a new contract in the summer. And at the time, didn't think anything of the fact that his agent insisted on him having a £16.5 million release clause. Because he was a kid who'd played one game for us. He'd had a loan out at Crewe. He only got 14 goals for Crewe last year in League Two. You know, no one's going to give us £16 million for him. The way he started the season, Chelsea and Aston Villa are both sniffing around him. We need to wrap him in cotton wool to keep him fit because he's so important, but also get a new contract in front of him the moment he'll sign another new one and pay him whatever it takes to remove that release clause because we need to keep him for the year. If we keep him for the entire season and he stays fit, we will get promoted and we'll want him in the Premier League. So let's not lose him in January. The other alternative is if he won't sign a new contract, hide him in the under-19s and pretend he doesn't exist. But that seems counterproductive. We've kind of let the cat out of the bag now with how he started the season. That being said, he's done nothing so far today. Maybe he doesn't like it in the rain. Right, Mr. Tickle plays it forward to Shaha, who gives it to Susic, who spreads the play out to Messam on this side, and there's Hall bursting out of midfield. Harley is lurking in the middle. Can Hall find Harley? Hall's got it alone, wallops it, forces the save out the goalkeeper, and of course we do still have the big boys at the back, Bindon and Roivers, both 6'4", 6'5" players, and there is Bindon getting on the end of one of these corners. Only got 2 goals from corners last year. To be fair, did lose his place midway through the season. He's back in now kind of by default because Carragher's injured. We did sign another big centre-back in the summer, but he also picked up an injury early on in pre-season. He is back now. So I guess if we decide to drop Bindon again, we do have another option. But at the moment, Bindon and Roivers has kind of established itself as our centre-back partnership at the start of this season, as we expected it to last season. So maybe Bindon will become a star for us after all, especially if he starts adding goals from corners to his play. That's not ideal. We're certainly not supposed to lose to Salford. Did I mention that's not ideal? This is not in the script for today's episode. We're going attacking. Rob Harley not having a very nice day. Maybe we're putting too much pressure on the youngster. I mean, I go one of two ways. I either don't develop them at all or put too much pressure on them. By basically building a team around him, which is what we've effectively done with Harley. We do have Our New, who we brought in as another option to play up front. And of course, Sturton, who was a goal-a-game striker at the end of last season, is still here. Harley's just taken his spot. But Harley's not having a very nice day today. I mean, we will be bringing one of the big boys on alongside him, or maybe both of them on, and just get him out. I mean, we're supposed to... That's not gone to plan today. Right, we're bringing on both Our New and Sturton. We're going to take off We're going to take off Pacheco. And we're going to go to 2 up top. Like that. He's going to be target forward. He's going to be centre forward. And he is going to... Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. And we're going to go very attacking. We do have... I mean, we've got so many good players down on the bench now. Let's take off Susic and get Jude McRobbie on. Maybe Jude McRobbie, our other new exciting youngster, maybe he can produce something for us on that right-hand side. Let's demand more. I mean, that is a good strike partnership we've got up there. For us to go through today and not score a goal will be very frustrating the way we started the season. Johnson is now time. We turned down £1.5 million for Denner on deadline day, by the way, to keep him around as our backup. We just didn't have time to find a new backup for him. We'll bring on Angulo, another of our exciting new players. This doesn't seem to be going our way, does it? Look at the state of the match stats. The amount of firepower we've got, I didn't expect us to not be able to score a goal against Salford. This game against Leeds is going to be tough, isn't it? So much for it being a top-of-the-table clash. This is us coming back down to earth with a thump. I felt so smug coming off the back of the transfer special. That has left me feeling less smug. Well, any plans we might have had for playing Sturton ahead of Harley, and I did have plans to play Sturton instead of Harley, scuppered by him picking up a knock midweek, bruised ribs, so he is going to stay on the bench again. Carragher still not fully fit to play, so Bindon stays in at the back. We still haven't really used the other new centre-back we brought in. I don't think Bindon or Roivers were to blame for what happened in the last game, so I don't think we need to make sweeping changes. I think we just need to accept that the Salford game didn't quite go to plan. If we're rubbish again against Leeds, then maybe we need a little bit of a rethink. But I've watched us rip every other team apart so far this season. So that game against Salford was a bit of a surprise. And with Leeds being as good as they are and already top of the league, we might be in line for another surprise here. But on the flip side of that, if Harley performs well against what is presumably a recently Premier League back four, it's another nail in his coffin as far as keeping him around for the full season goes, I guess. Right, Shah picks up the ball deep, tries to play it forward towards any player in a Wigan shirt and doesn't find a single one. And it's Leeds on the counter-attack. And Johnson was pushing forward and got caught a little bit out of position there. And Leeds have scored. This was not how today's episode was supposed to go. I kind of expected to lose this one, but I expected to lose it having had a fun time against Salford and us all be able to talk about how good Rob Harley is. Let's demand more. We've got to do something. I think the front six is better than it was last year. I think. But I guess time will tell. Do we need to tweak the role we're playing Harley on? He's playing him as a centre forward. He wants to be a deep lying forward, but we can't really do that. He wants to be like a false nine, deep lying forward kind of guy. I'm just not going to do that. That's the one problem with him. He's not really my kind of striker. If you look at his attributes, he's not a big, strong boy. He's very, very quick and he's proven he can score goals. There's a chance his long-term future might be out wide. Or as a second striker, if we decide to go to 2 up top. But the problem is the next best striker would probably be Sturton. And then they don't really complement each other, I don't think. We'll figure it out. We're going to attack him. I am upset that Harley has been so poor in both of these matches. This was not what I anticipated when I ordered the thumbnail, which presumably has a magazine cover shot of him on it or something equivalent. I just sent his attributes and said, please make this guy the center of the thumbnail. And then he's posted 2 6.3s. He's going to do a goal here. Pacheco nearly did. Maybe we rotate Harley out for a bit. The good thing is he doesn't have to play every game. His contract is as a breakthrough prospect, I think. So we can rotate him out for periods of time as and when we feel like he needs it and let him force his way back in. We were top of the league at the start of this episode. We just can't get a kick against Leeds. Right, Arnu's going to come on up front. And he can just carry on doing that same role. Hall is rubbish today. So Angulo can come on in midfield. Who else is having a bad day? Pacheco's having a bad day. So Miley can come on for him. There's no point bringing Sturton. I don't think there's any point throwing players forward and bringing Sturton on. We're just gonna concede more. We'll use this as 20 minutes to see if Arnu might be the answer, because he's not really had a chance yet since arriving. He arrived with a little bit of a knock and hasn't started a game for us yet. So let him do 20 minutes in the normal tactic and see if he's maybe going to be a goal a game striker like the one we sold to buy him. That's a foul. That's a penalty kick. Maybe we do have to bring Sturton on if we score here, because we're straight away back in it. Who's number 29? Shah. What a weird penalty taker choice. Our right back going to take a left-footed penalty. It's a very good penalty as well. Right, I think we do need to bring Sturton on now and try and get an unlikely point out of this one. Right, Susic is not playing well. Bailey's going to come on for him. And then we're going to take off Kante and bring on Sturton and sling him up top with Arnu. And see if we can grab an equaliser, which would be super duper if we could. Don't need to see the replay. What we do need to do is demand more and hope that they don't score immediately. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Right, Messam to counter-attack their counter-attack. Goes past his man, plays it back to Angulo. This could be... We've got men over here. Sturton couldn't quite get there. See, the annoying thing is, Harley, so much faster, would have got there. And that's what he's been so good at. Chasing on to stuff like that and using his pace. And in 2 matches, that's the first time there's been a pass that looked like Harley would make the most of, and he's not on the pitch. That's very annoying. Right, come on. Make me happy, gentlemen. Let's have an equaliser. Let's show we are in a promotion race, because Leeds obviously are. And if we can take some points off of them, or a point off of them, at their place, we definitely are as well. Johnson's clattered him there. Good work. Don't let him into the area. Just kick him in the knee. Proper defend him. Right, come on. I want Sturton to score. He was the man for us second half of last season. And he's fallen down the pecking order a little bit here. There's a very real danger that he's our third choice striker through no fault of his own. Oh, that's I thought it was going into the guy in the middle. That was a weird pass. They're probably still going to score from it. But I don't know why they didn't give it to the guy in the middle who was in loads of space. There's been a lot of desperate defending from us. Bindon hasn't looked awful, though. I think we are giving Bindon and Roivers time to build a partnership this season, which, to be fair, we did for the first half of last season as well, and they didn't really. But we'll give them time again. Carragher's getting old. I don't think any team gets promoted to the Premier League with Carragher as a starting member of the back four. So I think we have to move on from him. He's 31 now. He had his testimonial this summer. Well, that was not how today was supposed to go. But ultimately, 6 games in, we're still 5th in the league with a game in hand of 2 of the teams above us. So I guess it's not a disaster. You'll have to wait a little bit longer to see the Rob Harley show, though, I'm afraid. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.